powerful weapon we have to break the cycle of poverty. Bye for now.
From the views on the street,
we go to bed empty hunger,
to the blaring horns of a hustling city, the loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lawn.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents.
Corruption kills three things that makes a society.
Representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television, truly a voice for the people.
Voice of the people. You can hear me now. My name is Patrick Doyle, and I wish that you continue to echo the voices of the people. Big up VOP TV.
My name is Soibifa Dokobo. Please keep watching VOP TV.
Hi, my name is Kwekumali Ikena Onyekwena, and I am with the Voice of the People TV. Now, if you're looking for the veritable channel for information, politics, robust discussions, you don't need to go far. VOP has you. VOP will always have you. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Patrick Diabwa, aka Ibani Chuka, Amayanabo the Eagle King, and you are watching VOP TV. Stay with us.
We encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Voice of the People TV. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at VOP TV Live. Visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Also watch us live on SLTV channel 264. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television.
My name is Esther. They call me the Oga of them are the general overseer of them all. Every man, every woman has got a voice where integrity is the volume. So this is Voice of the People's TV. Voice of the People's TV. So this is the people's voice. And the people's voice is the voice of God. That's the voice populi in Latin. The people's voice is the voice of God. So keep watching Voice of the People. In fact, my name is Voice of the People. Keep watching MC Adobe King.
Hi guys, my name is Kagan. I am Nigeria's biggest tech content creator, and I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Voice of the People TV. Keep watching, enjoy, and you're welcome.
My name is MC Alamano. They call me Enjoyment Landlord. It's VOP TV. Keep watching VOP TV. Don't touch it down. Even if you want to touch it down, increase the volume. If you don't increase the volume, I told me.
My name is Collins Agawabe, popularly known as No Mide, but last, more than No Mide, or more. Not be all the cook right at the fry plantain. We keep on watching VOP TV. The voice of the people, the voice of Edo. If you don't want to get the authentic news for Edo the way it be, that's why they show and all they cut anything come on. A VOP TV.
we encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Voice of the People TV. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at VOP TV Live. Visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Also watch us live on SLTV channel 264. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television.
My name is Esther. They call me the Oga Patapata of them are the general overseer of them all. Every man, every woman has got a voice where integrity is the volume. So this is Voice of the People's TV. Voice of the People's TV. So this is the people's voice. And the people's voice is the voice of God. That's the voice populi in Latin. The people's voice is the voice of God. So keep watching Voice of the People. In fact, my name is Voice of the People. Keep watching MC Ado Pikin. Thank you.
Hi guys, my name is Kegan. I am Nigeria's biggest tech content creator, and I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Voice of the People TV. Keep watching, enjoy, and you're welcome.
My name is MC Alamano. They say call me Enjoy Landlord. It's VOP TV. Keep watching VOP TV. Don't touch it down. Even if you want to touch it down, increase the volume. If you don't increase the volume, why told me?
My name is Collins Agawabe, popularly known as No Maiden. But last, more than No Maiden. More. Not be all the cook right at the fry plantain. We keep on watching VOP TV. The voice of the people, the voice of Edo. If you don't want to get the authentic news for Edo, the way it be, that's why they show and they want to cut anything come on. A VOP TV.
Okay, welcome on board. It is People's Voice on VOP TV. Of course, our season started to shape the narrative. And today we'll be dissecting a major story that is dominating the Alliance Packing conversation across the nation. Remi Tinubu silenced Adeleke. That's quite a very serious one there. You know, of course, you'd agree with me that you actually saw that particular one on social media. Okay, and of course, it is making rounds, you know, on all newspapers as we speak. That's actually happened on Sunday, to be precise, but we have mixed reactions and people are actually debating as regards to that particular conversation, which I would also want you to be part of this conversation for us to dissect it together this wonderful afternoon. Yes, and of course, I join the conversation with experts insights and citizen perspective. Share your thoughts with us. I am Savior Udo. Let's look into other news stories with details. NNPC summoned by reps over irregular payment fraud. The House of Representatives directed the group chief executive officer of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Bayo Ajulari, to appear before its December 15, 2025, over an audit queries raised by the Office of the Auditor General of the Federation. The committee is actually asked to look into this particular one and investigating the situation around the alleged irregular payments, including payments made to contractors for abandoned projects. and of course our failure to deduct statutory tax. I don't know why NNPC, is full of all of these questionable acts, and we hold them in a very high esteem. And not only that, we believe that NNPC should do better or can do better. Judging with the fact that a part of the shoulder of this nation rests on them. But what else can we say? When it's coming from NNPC, everybody will just tell you, oh, don't you know them? Of course, they have questionable characters and all of that. But let's see how this particular situation would, play as regards to coming days. And we would actually look closely the conversation. But one of my biggest problems in this nation is that when any agency, commission, any arm of government is summoned, okay, for a particular reason or being probed, the problem is continuity. We don't get to hear anything afterwards, okay? Just like Serap would call out EFCC, to say, oh, check this. Serap called out CBN. Till now, we've not seen anything. Serap called on EFCC to look into INEC. Till now, we've not heard anything. And you would agree with me that some contractors also protested, okay, as regards to lack of payment, the federal government owing them, different ministries. And even Wale Edun also told them, assured them that they were going to pay them. But what happened afterwards? Nothing. Still, they are still protesting. So you see the situation, it's been a normal thing now, and the trajectory is, but once they just bring up a particular conversation, or they say there's a probe, or they're investigating, and afterwards we don't get to hear anything, that particular conversation is being swept off. And the country moves on like nothing ever happened. And the money is not being accounted for. But hopefully, we'll get to hear something in the coming days. But away from that particular one, let's look at Appeal Court's situation here. Appeal Court President laments endless election cases. Why is it Appeal Court if you don't get to have that particular one? The president of the Court of Appeal, Justice Monica Dogban Mensem, has expressed concern over the increasing number of election cases in Nigeria. She made the call at the Court of Appeal 2025-2026 legal year ceremony, okay, urging Nigerians to support allegations of corruption against judicial officers with credible evidence, okay. And of course, she also mentioned and she lamented that electoral matters so I don't really have issues with all of these particular submissions, but where I'm having issues is that, of course, it is part of their right, from the executive arm to the judicial system, that some basic amenities, remuneration, were meant to be given to the judiciary, okay? If even with their independence, all of these things were meant to, be provided for as regards to either accommodation, whatever, but they were meant to actually do that implementation by themselves, having their own money. But these days, you would see the same situation now that it is the executive arm that is giving it as a gift to the judiciary. Hence, we're having the situation of corruption, or somebody's actually in favor of this particular person over this. If they were doing it, if the judicial system were totally independent, okay, and they were actually handling their case on their own, we wouldn't be having some of these issues we're having. And of course, they shouldn't be deprived of their own rights. But notwithstanding, we should also do the right thing by allowing this whole three arm of government to be totally independent away from each other. That's all we're saying. But of course, we know the federal government will answer them very fast, just like the judges' conference also, was actually, blown off after that wonderful national or a sub-national anthem of the ruling party. Of course, the mandate song. So what else do you expect? Election is coming, is on the way. We have election around the corner. So anything the judiciary would request for now, of course, especially Court of Appeal, they would actually do it. I'm sure of that particular one. All right, let me go straight to Bauchi Traditional Leaders Quarters now. Sharia law, no threats to Christians. Bauchi Traditional Leaders, okay, of course, and their spokesperson, Aminu Damaliki, has dismissed claims that the Sharia law in northern Nigeria states poses a threat to Christians or Christianity generally. Damaniki explained that Sharia law is constitutionally protected and only applies to Muslims with no jurisdiction over non-Muslims. Of course, he has also emphasized that Nigeria operates a multi-legal system, including common law, customary law, Sharia law, which serves different communities. Now, I'm only having a mixed feeling as regards to the situation of you saying that Sharia law, poses no threat to Christians. So, what happened to Deborah in Sokoto? I would want you to make it make sense to me. I think we also have another conversation. Was it in Nasarawa or even to that particular Bauchi we're talking about here? I've lived in that same north where even when Christians are actually doing something, and the next thing you hear is that they're actually committing a ram. So I would like you to make it make sense to me how it poses no threat. So if it doesn't, then some of the Christians that have actually been they've been victims of this whole situation. What should we say about the matter? So these are questionable acts that we should really talk about here. But of course, if you feel it poses no threat, then you should also give us, your facts and figures how it poses no threat. That's what we would actually say as regards to that particular conversation. But of course, my guest would have so much to say as regards to some of these news stories. APC urges patience in rescue operation. The All Progressive Congress, APC, has called on Nigerians, of course, for patience and support for security agencies as they work to rescue abducted children and combat rising insecurity in the country. Okay, the APC National Publicity Secretary, Felix Moka, emphasized that the safety of the children is the government's top priority and urged Nigerians to show understanding as security forces continue their efforts. I love the fact that this is coming from the APC. Just like I said the other day, if APC was not in power, okay, if this particular administration was being headed by the opposition party, would APC be this nice? Okay, we can remember what happened in 2014, and of course, below those years, okay, we remember everything that happened. How APC or the said people that actually came together, to form APC either in ACN and and other likes of parties. So we know what really happened. So if APC were not in power and it was another party, would APC also ask Nigerians with this patience? The price of fuel was not even this high as a day when we had several people, protesting in Ojota. We can't forget all of those particular, situations. And here we are. APC has just been talking. Oh, exercise patience. Understand that the reforms are better. Blah blah blah. There's nothing we've not heard, in some days now. But of course, do we really have a choice? No, we don't. Let's move to Bayelsa. Yes, Bayelsa actually, the Bayelsa state government has banned all unauthorized and illegal mining of mineral resources in the state. Governor Doyediri, represented by his deputy, Senator Lawrence, has actually declared that the state would not tolerate any business that undermines the security and safety of the people, okay, and their environment. I love this particular one, but my question is very clear. And what is that question? If Bayelsa state government is coming out now to say we are banning all unauthorized and illegal mining of mineral resources in the state, that means before now you were aware. So should we still call it illegal? Should we still call it unauthorized? That's the question. The reason why we're talking about illegal mining today and we're talking about unauthorized mining in Nigeria today is because some people have actually given speculations and talked about, some states that have been open, and prone to insecurity, that this is what is going on in those states, right? And that's the reason why so many security officials, and our Nigerian armed forces have been talking about this illegal mining. Okay, so is it now that you should be talking about this particular one? That means you've been aware. So why is he calling it unauthorized? It's just a question. So maybe you have to clear yourself there. I'm talking about the Bayelsa state government now, because you can't actually wake up just now, to start talking when you were aware. If you say you are not aware and you're just giving a general, warning. So are you saying that you've never heard anything like that in Bayelsa state? It's just a question. away from that particular one, kidnapping children is a lesser evil than killing soldiers. Of course, who do you expect to see this particular one? Sheikh Gumi, of course. The Islamic cleric Sheikh Gumi has actually sparked a controversy by describing the kidnapping of school children as a lesser evil compared to killings of soldiers. In a particular media parley he granted, Gumi argued that negotiating with bandits is necessary to prevent greater bloodshed. I do not know. I do not know where this man actually gets, his own point of view from. But he would agree with me that we are all entitled to our opinions. But if you listen to this particular statement, it says a lot. Why should you even think that it is better or it is lesser or it's fine for children to be kidnapped? Can't we even just clean up this country? Just like we're saying we want to eradicate poverty, can we also eradicate this terrorism? Can't we clean this country, fumigate this country off of insecurity? Let us even have peace in this nation for once. And now we're actually saying, is it a debate now that, it's better that children are being kidnapped? Really? And we are pushing for more negotiation with the bandits. How did we get here? How? And now I'm not surprised because it is getting clearer that the government understand all of this situation, because if the government doesn't, NSA person Ribadu also mentioned the other day, he said, the children are actually in good condition. So is it like you go to check them as if they went to a recreation center, or they went to picnic, or they went for a holiday or something? You went to check them or something? He said, they are in good shape, they are fine and all of that. Really? And later the same government will come back and say they are not negotiating with the bandits? I would sincerely want you all to make it make sense to me. To join the conversation, kindly call at the number 09044 732 09044 and of course follow us on social media at VOBTV Live. You can use the hashtag People's Voice on VOBTV, and on YouTube we are Voice of the People. Kindly hit the subscribe button, and of course, and together we can make our voices heard. It is time for us to go on a quick break. As soon as we return, we'll be taking this conversation, Remi Tinubu's silence Adeleke. You don't go nowhere. Stay tuned, please. I'll be right back. Still People's Voice on VOP TV. Yes, sir. Let's actually dissect this particular conversation together. Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has actually come under fire after intervening while Osun State Governor Ademola Adeleke broke into a song during a speech at the 10th coronation anniversary of the Oni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Ogunwusi. The governor was seen stepping up to the podium to honor the monarch and congratulates the First Lady on a new chieftaincy title. Instead of delivering his address, Adeleke launched into a brief chant, prompting amusement from the crowd. Remi Tinubu walked towards the podium and whispered to him to proceed with his statements. The incident has drawn mixed reaction from Nigerians online, with some defending the First Lady's action and others condemning it as bullying. Some believe that Remi Tinubu's action was justified, while others think she overstepped her bounds. Okay, we're now being joined by Dr. Kayode, socio-political technocrat, and of course, aviation safety expert. Good afternoon, Doctor.
Yes, Savior, good afternoon. Good afternoon. I was even surprised that you did not comment so much on the NNPC thing, because NNPC had always been in the news for the bad reasons.
No, doctor, I was leaving it. Doctor, I was leaving it for my guest.
Let me quickly comment on that before we commence, please. You see,
okay, doctor.
I read how much money was being mismanaged in NNPC office in UK. Now, I am one of those that have been saying the series of subsidy being talked about is fake. I have studied so many things as regards NNPC. Are you talking about their policy of direct supply, direct purchase policy?
Okay.
I even went as far as querying AI. And then I gave AI all the necessary information, and AI did a lot of calculation and said that in this country of today, we're not supposed to be buying PMS highest 150 naira. Can you now compare that 150 naira to how much we are buying it now?
Okay.
And nobody is talking.
All right, doctor.
Nobody is talking.
Doctor, that's...
People are never ready to read. People are never ready to do research. Even when you do that research for them and bring it out, they will not read. I just put up an article 2-3 days ago. You know the title of the article?
Doctor, please go ahead.
The shepherd, the leopard gapped shepherd, jeopardy of the flocks. Go and Google it and read it.
Okay.
Then you see what I'm talking about.
All right, doctor. So I would like you to hold I would like you to hold your thoughts. Of course, I know you have so much to say, but of course, I also have a guest in the studio. So afterwards, I'll open the bar and we would actually dissect the conversations together. Is that fine with you, doctor?
Go ahead.
All right. Thank you so much for joining the program. And of course, I have with me in the studio a seasoned reporter and of course a senior political analyst, Mr. Dele Fanimo. Good afternoon, sir.
Ogadele Fanimo, I greet you.
I sincerely did not tell the both of you that you'll be coming on board today. So I wanted the both of you to see yourself on head.
I'm telling you.
So, Mr. Dele, I would like you to also react briefly to any of the news stories that I took here.
The cesspit of corruption in NNPC is a bottomless pit that you cannot see the end at all. And apart from that, it's so opaque that it has become a recurring decimal in the life of previous administration and the current administration. What are you going to talk about an NPC? Is it the endless funds funneled into turnaround maintenance for an Abiku or Ogbanje project? Is it the opaque accounting system in NNPC you want to talk about? Is it the shadowy exploration in the upstream you want to talk about? It's a whole lot of mess that if we sit down from now till eternity, we can't exhaust what is happening in NPC. And it's a shame of a nation. If you have Petrobras from Brazil, if you have Aramco in Saudi Arabia making huge profits, today you can't extract a liter of crude in these two countries without the government knowing. And it's not as if they posted half of the population to the fields. Technology that had been there, Kupolokun, during Obasanjo's tenure, wanted to bring in this technology. The next day they sacked him. And since then, we have been grappling with it. Today, IOCs cannot categorically tell us how much they extract from our soil. And that is why they use government apparatus to deal with the owners of this oil in their backyard. It's a whole lot of mess. Let me just stop at that level.
Okay.
I'll continue later.
Okay. I think my both guests are really appeased with that of NNPC situation, but you would agree with me that it is only in Nigeria that the government facilities does not work. But once they give it to private sector or private sector comes in, that's when the system will tend to work better. And
why is NNLG working? The Nigerian liquefied natural gas. Why is it working? Because 49% stake of government and 51% stake of private sector. So it's a private sector driven organization. That's why you hear less of them. The only thing they do is corporate society. They are making huge profit.
I think it's high time. You know, I was almost mentioning this to you. So I think it's high time we give our Port Harcourt refinery out. You know, let's give it to any private sector. That of Warri, Kaduna, what have you. You know. You see, because, if I have my way,
let the current champion of oil sector in Nigeria, Dangote.
Yeah.
Let's give 2 to him. When Bua comes on stream next year, let's give the remaining 2 to them, so that they don't need to rush down in their supply chain, so that whatever it is that is being manufactured in Kaduna refinery, let it be for the up north.
Okay.
So that, and the amount those refineries will be sold, you will be shocked. It will be so ridiculous that you feel sorry for this country, because they have cannibalized almost all those refineries to the extent that what is left of it is a shadow of what should be in those sites. What any investor will want to buy is probably the landed property and some other useful things that are so minimal compared to when that thing is running. And the annoying part of it is NNP has the most top-heavy organization in this country. The most top-heavy organization in this country. You have more than 20 to 30 general managers, senior managers. You have AGM and all that. Doing what? After all, it's just like the Igbo culture. If you have gone for Omugo and the child dies in the process, want to come back home? But in the case of NNPC, nobody is returning home.
Nobody's
even
returning.
when the child has died and buried.
From a very reliable source, someone said that they went to Port Harcourt refinery and all the staff does is to sleep, and they just sleep and wake up.
That's what I'm saying.
Because there's nothing that's happening.
When the child dies, and Mama stays back, maybe he wants to struggle with the daughter to marry the husband. that is it.
Okay, so let's come back here. Let's come back home. Oluremi Tinubu silenced Adeleke. You know, when I watched this particular coronation, of course, I was following online when this event was going on. And before I would ask my question, of course, everything I'm going to say would actually come in as question, but I will be directing it to Dr. Kayode first before we come back to the studio. I was privileged to know the First Lady, the present First Lady, of course, who was the First Lady of Lagos State as at the time before she became a senator. And as at the time that the husband was the governor of Lagos State, I did presentation for Child Death Week immunization for her in this Lagos as at the time. And I know her to be a very soft woman. I know her to be a very caring mother. I know her to be a wonderful First Lady. Sincerely, we've had a particular issue that the First Lady came to Lagos, and Mr. Dele, I believe you should remember that incident, that she came in with some senators, you know, to Lagos, and a particular woman was talking, we're told she silenced the woman. There's a particular incident that happened.
Yeah, I remember.
The only person that I know that she goes loggerheads with in the Senate is Denobilai. Okay. Now, after then, my question now, for the First Lady of Nigeria to shut a sitting governor, to silence a sitting governor up, is it right? I just want to get it clear. Now, my question again is, if Governor Adeleke was Fayose, would she have shut him off? Would she have shut Fayose off? If it were to be Wike, when he was still the River State governor? Would she have done that? Let's take it to the north. Would she have gone to Borno to shut Zulum up? Or El-Rufai when he was the governor of Kaduna? I just want to know. Or when Darius Ishaku was the governor of Taraba? Would she have done that? Let's come to this Lagos. If it has been Fashola, would she have done that? Is this about, oh, because Adeleke needs election of 2026? Is it because Adeleke is calm? Is it even right for a first lady to shut a governor up? And I would like to know, do we really have office of the first lady? Did we vote her in, or it was her husband? I just want to get it clear. Some of us don't know these things, and that's why we have our political analysts to give justice to this conversation. So, Dr. Kayode, over to you, sir.
You see, the first thing that came to my mind when I was watching that video as regards Oluremi Tinubu and Governor Adeleke. Oluremi Tinubu's action is tantamount to boisterousness, garrulity, and antithetical to Omoluabi Yoruba ethos. Because as a woman in Yoruba land, you are not even supposed to look at the face of a man. Talk less of you trying to stop him when he was doing his constitutional duty. Constitutional duty in terms of, he is the one that gave Oni, that is the governor, that gave Oni the staff of office in the first instance. So, for him being there and taking his time to address the people that had attended their anniversary, it is authenticated. Unlike Oluremi Tinubu, who was there just to take away something. That's number one. Number two, as a sitting governor, what they were doing there is anniversary, Thanksgiving. I want you to underline it. Anniversary and Thanksgiving. For goodness sake, what has Adeleke done that is not in conformity with what they were doing there? The song he was giving has to do with Thanksgiving. And when you are doing an anniversary, you can also sing. So what is it that Adeleke has done that Oluremi Tinubu is now saying, no? Anyway, it's not our fault. I want Nigerians then that if a woman, a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, can shut down a fellow woman at a conference, then you will know what you are going to be expecting if the husband is being elected as the president. And we haven't seen nothing yet. I have never heard of it whereby a non-governmental personality will now be harassing a constitutionally elected governor of a state. It is embarrassing. It is a national jeopardy. It is a national disgrace because that particular thing had gone viral. At that place also, you have people from the international community present. So what was she trying to portray? When I looked at that thing, I saw Adeleke looked at her. At the first time, all of us looked at her. He kept quiet. And something now came to my mind. That maybe he was looking at the relationship of his senior brother vis-a-vis the federal government. And he continued. And Oluremi has that effrontery again to not be removing his papers. In fact, she must apologize to the nation. Oluremi must apologize to the nation. Who is she? No, I don't know what she thinks she's putting on her head. I felt embarrassed as a Nigerian. I felt embarrassed as a Nigerian that somebody like Oluremi Tinubu can, at that instant, put aside, denigrate our respected constitution. It is an eyesore. Now, listen. Even if you want to control Adeleke there, why can't you even write a small note and then ask somebody to go and give to him? But you want to show that, it is nothing other than arrogance of the highest order. And she must be caught to her pants. Adeleke, is she older than Adeleke? Even when it comes to age, is she older than Adeleke? Even if she's older than Adeleke, what temerity has she to go and be telling a whole governor that you will off the mic that he's using? I saw it as an errand nonsense. A governor speaking, and you are saying you are going to off the mic, and you remove his speech. You even remove the speech before you return it. Why? Because your husband is the president? Are you the first person that your husband will be president? Can you do that to Deno Melaye?
Okay, doctor.
Can you do that to Payoshe?
Doctor.
Can she even do that to me? She can't even do that to me. She can't do that.
Doctor, that's still your
because
first lady.
I will tell her that.
Doctor, but you know that's your first lady, right?
Understand the ethos of Omoluabi.
Doctor.
I'm with you. With you.
First, I want you to know that that's still your first lady. But not only that, I want to confirm something. Are you saying this age-wise? Are you saying this because of culture as regards to Yoruba, as you mentioned Omoluabi? Or you are saying that she shouldn't have, or she does not even have any right at all? First, don't forget that the office of her husband, the office of her husband, I'm coming, the office of her husband, as the commander-in-chief and the president of this nation, makes her, of course, they are the first citizen of this nation. So that office can also still, make her do some things and go scot-free. So are you saying that as a first lady, she cannot also caution somebody, as regards to maybe timing or whatever, to maintain decorum in an event?
Number one, office of the first lady is never in our constitution. That's number one. Number two, even as the wife of the president, when you are in a gathering like this, there must be decorum. What she has done is not different from what all these Omalata in Mushin or Yigbo will do. That is nothing other than brigandry. It is brigandry. So what are you telling me? Number two, when you're talking about Yoruba Omoluabi ethos, she did flattered. Because the person you are talking to is the husband to another woman.
Okay.
Is the husband to another woman.
All right, doctor, let me bring it to the studio.
And number two, the second one, what she has done is highly unconstitutional.
Okay.
For somebody who is not an elected officer to now go and be harassing, to go and be bullying an elected governor.
Okay.
Has he forgotten that governor came there with his own protocol? So if his own protocol should not send her away, our protocol will come. And then what will happen there? She will now turn the place to a place of chaos and crisis. I even saw Honey, the way he was looking. Because Oni is a very humble person.
He is, and
He knows that the
you
two
know,
of them, number one, they are
it was
older
really
than him.
quite neutral there. But I know that the Oni would have spoken to.
He was looking ruffled, but he couldn't show it. I
But
saw
of course,
him.
I know Oni would have spoken to Adeleke.
He was looking ruffled, but I didn't know what to do at that point. Who will he want to draw back? Will he draw back? Will he draw back Remy? Will he draw back Remy? He can't draw back Remy now.
Okay, thank you so much.
In fact, that chieftain title given to her must be removed from her, must be taken away. She's not qualified. For which Yoruba land?
Doctor, I think
Yoruba land, he should be given that chieftaincy title.
Doctor, don't you think you are going too far by saying the chieftain title?
I am not going too far. I am talking based on an actions. There are some actions that are not. I mean, that are highly inimical to your position.
Okay, doctor.
I mean, a first lady for that matter.
All right, doctor. Thank you so much.
Somebody that's been confined. Supposing that day, Adeleke was singing "On Your Monday We Shall Stand." We should go there and stop by him. If
Doctor, all right, doctor. Doctor, that's okay. Doctor, because of our time. Doctor, because of our time. I need to bring you to the studio now. Okay, I need to bring you to the studio because of our time, please.
I'm ashamed of her.
Okay. All right, thank you so much, Doctor. Mr. Dele. Dr. Kayode has really vented enough, and you could see the frustration because we didn't expect that from the First Lady. Actually, we didn't expect it, especially in this particular time and season in Nigeria where the international communities are watching. But not only that, different guests were seated on that day, and this is a chief executive officer of a state. And for a First Lady to come in and shut him off just like that without, even giving a prior notice or writing something, I don't know. But what to take and your reaction towards this particular conversation?
See, as a trained psychologist, I look at that drama from different perspectives. You see, whatever doctor has said, I'm not going to deviate from the way he was venting his spleen. But I'm somebody that I take time to look at action. I mean, I look at motivation behind actions. Have you noticed lately that a lot of high-profile government officials, they most times act on impulse without necessarily thinking out their plan of action? Now, at that moment, from what I saw, Remi Tinubu didn't realize that she was in public arena. She only exhibited what she could have done in private with Adeleke. Adeleke is a far younger brother to Deji, who is the eldest of the Adeleke family. And Deji is a blossom friend to Tinubu. And you know one funny thing about women? Sometimes they get carried away that they don't even know formal and informal setting when they want to act. Because ordinarily you would have expected that somebody of Remi Tinubu's stature should have been less temperamental, and be introspect in taking certain actions, bearing in mind that whatever action or inaction coming from her will either rub negatively or positively on her husband, because she's not carrying a joint ticket with her husband. Her husband is the only elected president. The First Lady's position is ceremonial. It has no constitutional backing. So, ordinarily, what I would have expected is for her to remain on her seat even while she's sitting with rage. And if you look at this, you will know that it's a question of, what is always his problem? Singing and dancing when we are supposed to be serious. You know? And she just felt she needed to call him to order, which was totally wrong in the glare of the world with cameras and all that, focusing on her. I'm sure Tinubu will not be proud of that encounter. More so, she had had similar encounter before. You see, the higher you go in positions, the more you should be circumspect. You should know what to do at a particular time and what not to do at a particular time. So she erred. But we also need to commend Adeleke for showing extreme omoluabi. Adeleke has given that woman some leeway to escape the kind of fire she would have received. I am sure a Wike will not tolerate that kind of
fire. It won't. No.
Because the moment she steps back to sit down, Wike will lash out.
He would even sing another song.
Can you imagine somebody who does not have constitutional rights?
He will say it.
But this is
will say
another feather. This is another feather to Adeleke's cap. And it's very commendable that he was able to manage the situation very well. And I doff my hat for him for doing this.
Okay. But finally, just to wrap up the conversation, are you also in support of what Dr. Kayode said, that since she didn't act the Omoluabi, lifestyle, that she should be stripped of the new position that she was?
I know Oni will not do it.
Okay.
Oni will not do it.
But would you have been?
Oni will want. No, that would be an overkill.
Okay.
That would be an overkill. I want to plead with my good friend, Doctor, to reduce the sentence.
Doctor, come back to with mercy.
I saw the picture again. I saw Oni. I think when she was telling Oni was trying to persuade her not to do that. But she refused. And she ignored Oni, the person that wanted to give her that chieftaincy title. Anyway, let me quickly appreciate Adeleke for just keeping cool and calm at that scene. And again, I will not blame Oluremi, because there's a Yoruba proverb that says, that is, when Shigidi, you know what they call Shigidi?
Yeah.
Effigy. Effigy made of mud. When it's about to disgrace itself, you say, take me to the rain. I want to go and play inside the rain. Wait and see what we end all this scenario. Let them be piling it up.
Okay.
They'll be piling it up. And they think Nigerians are stupid. Nigerians are stupid. We only be conceptual.
Okay.
Okay,
thank you so much, Doctor, for that final adage and, of course, botanical comment. This is how far we can actually go on the show this wonderful evening. Thank you so much, Dr. Kayode, for joining the program. And, of course, thank you so much, Mr. Dele.
Thank you for having me. My friend, Ogadele. Hoping to see you one of these days.
Thank you.
I want to see you live on the studio.
It will. Doctor, let's move forward to that particular day that you will have to come to the studio. Okay, we'll fix things out. All right, thank you so much, Mr. Dele.
My pleasure.
Part of the program. Don't forget that the views and opinion expressed by our analysts are solely the analysis don't reflect that of VOP media. Don't give up because it is not over. Tough time doesn't last, but tough will last. Whatsoever you're facing will soon be over, and you will definitely smile again. If you love the world of sports, I'd like you to stay put to enjoy locker room, as it will come in to do justice to the world of football and, of course, sports at large. My name remains Savior Udo. Have a good evening. Rest.
Behind every broken desk lies a broken promise. Education shapes the nations. But who is asking the right questions? Introducing Edu Dialogue, the show that goes beyond the surface, exposes the cracks, the corruption, and the silence in Nigeria's education system. Edu Dialogue, Saturdays, 3 p.m., only on VOP TV. We break the biggest stories, from missing funds to policy failures. We ask the tough questions and demand real answers. Edu Dialogue, this Saturday, 3 p.m. on Voice of the People Television.
Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I, from social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more, tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The People's Voice. Make your voice count.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.